Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in for this video. It's going to be all about primers for makeup, and I've gotten a lot of questions, just basic questions wondering what exactly do they do, why should I use one, what are some different kinds. So I'm just going to go through that real briefly here for you. Basically a primer is something you would put on after a moisturizer. So when you sit down to do your makeup, you put a moisturizer on, you kind of let that soak in, and then you put a primer on your face. And the idea is that that primer is going to make your skin feel smoother, and you're going to be able to put your foundation on and it'll go on more smoothly. Some claim to minimize pores, and sometimes they even claim to make your makeup last longer. A lot of people are believers in using some sort of primer or base on their eyelid because you've got, you know, cream makeup, powder makeup, you know, who knows what around your eye area. And a lot of people like to use a primer like Urban Decay Primer Potion or Too Faced Shadow Insurance, which I like, or L'Oreal Decrease, just to name a few there. So there are primers for your eyes like those, but there's also primers for your face. And in the beginning, when primers started coming out, I kind of thought, you know, this probably isn't that necessary. I feel like my makeup's staying on okay or whatever. And then I had tried a little sample size of Smashbox Photofinish. This is the full size. And then I was like, oh, okay, I see. Primers are pretty good, because this Smashbox Photofinish, which comes in different formulas, it actually comes in a light formula too, and I think some different color correcting ones. There's also a bronzing Photofinish that I have. It really doesn't bronze all that much. I don't really see that much difference, but anyway, the Photofinish basically is a you can see it looks like a clear gel, and if I were to put it on my hands and rub my hands together, I probably wouldn't want to open anything real soon, because it really does make my hands have that smooth feel. And to touch my face afterwards, I feel like my face feels just silky when I put that on. It's the same with the Laura Geller Spackle, which I have only used in like a little trial size, but those two are kind of similar in that they are sort of a gel-like consistency, and then you put them on your face and it dries to like a dry silky kind of feel, and it doesn't take any time for it to soak in. You don't have to like wait like you would for a moisturizer. It just, I feel like I put it on and it instantly, you know, okay, I can start putting my makeup on now. And you can really tell, you know, especially if you're putting on your foundation with your fingers, it's going to go on more smoothly. The fact that whether or not it lasts longer is still something that's a little bit up in the air with me when I'm using a liquid foundation with this primer. I'm talking about Photofinish right now, because I don't know that I notice a difference more so in the application than the staying power. Let's just put it that way. In terms of minimizing pores, I think I might go with that a little bit, because I really think Photofinish, I mean, to actually read what it says here, yeah, to create a perfect canvas for foundation application, apply the silky blend of vitamins and antioxidants to clean or moisturize skin. This totally unique formula helps reduce the appearance of fine lines and pores for visibly softer skin. And so it does soften the skin. It does help your makeup go on smoother, and that alone can be a real asset to people, especially if you have some unevenness in your skin, or you have, you know, places where sometimes the foundation, maybe if you have real combination skin where maybe there's some dry patches and the foundation clings to those areas and it ends up looking unnatural, using a primer just lets it all smooth on. Then there's other kinds of primers. One that is my favorite from the drugstore is the Rimmel Fix Perfect. Okay, so this is a lot different. It has the exact same claims to smooth skin, minimize pores, make your foundation last longer, but it's totally different in terms of the consistency. You can see this is kind of like a peachy formula. If I were to rub it into my hand here, it's going to kind of disappear for the most part. You might have just a hair of color there, but and you know, as soon as you put it in, it feels more like a moisturizer than Smashbox Photofinish does, because I can still kind of feel it, and I might give it a little bit of a drying period. But once it has started to dry, you do get that really, really nice smooth feel. Not quite as silky as Smashbox, but it is smooth. And this is one that, for some reason, I feel like I like using this a lot with mineral makeup because I do feel like it, you know, it doesn't get quite as smooth and dry feeling as the photo finish does. So when I put those loose minerals on, I guess I just feel like there's maybe a little more staying power with this, with the mineral makeup. But you could use this with liquid too. I use it all the time with the Rimmel Lasting Finish makeup, and they make a good pair together. So I mean, primers basically, if you're on a tight budget and you are thinking, you know, I want to get the bare minimum makeup, you may not really need a primer. But if you do struggle with feeling like you have a smooth canvas to start your makeup off with, you know, you might want to look into that. Like I said, there's formulas like this that are more like gel. Also, some people use Monistat chafing gel and use that on their faces for a foundation primer, and there are a lot of people that would do nothing else because they think it works great. I haven't personally tried that, so I can't really speak to that, but you may want to look into some reviews on that, see if you think that's worth trying. But for me, I really like the Smashbox Photofinish, especially, not so much the bronzing, it's not really that awesome, but I just like a regular Photofinish primer, and then the Rimmel Fix Perfect. It works great with minerals. It kind of helps them cling, I feel like, a little bit more, and both do a good job of making your skin feel smooth and overall making it easier to apply your makeup. So I hope this answered a few of your questions about primers without totally confusing you all over again. If you have more questions, please let me know, and thanks for watching.